Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Quick mid-month grocery haul. I ran into Aldi yesterday to check out their supposed reduced prices, taking things back to 2019 pricing. I did find this heavy cream for $3.50 a quart. It's close to $5 a quart in most places, and their grapes were on sale for 99 cents a pound, which is a fantastic price for grapes. I also picked up some gluten-free pasta for my daughter and I, and a few packages of bagels for my big kids. The bagels are $1.79 a package for 6. I feel like that's still a pretty good price, even though it's up a little bit from their old pricing. Butter, on the other hand, was fantastic. It was about $2.70 a pound. Most places are between $3.70 and even $5 a pound, depending on where you shop. So I was able to pick up 6. That was the limit. I had my teenagers in the car with me this day, so I've also picked up a box of oatmeal cream pies, which are long gone, and that brought my Aldi total to $55.30. I ran into Sam's to check their pricing on some things and ended up picking up a few items. This crumbled bacon is really good, and I haven't purchased it in a while, but with bacon prices being as high as they are right now, I just can't buy it that often. So this crumbled bacon is really great for adding to breakfast burritos, even just scrambled eggs, also adding it to soups or casseroles that call for some bacon. And this just helps us with some portion control, and we're able to make it last a little longer. They're $8.98 a bag, and I got 2. Their butter at Sam's, which I went to before Aldi, was $3.70 a pound, so I picked up 2 4-packs of that. And their hot cocoa, which we only buy this time of year, was $2 off, bringing it down to just $7.66. So I picked up 2 of those as well. My total at Sam's was $65.51. Next, I ran to Walmart. Now, this was more of a grocery list, like intentional shopping trip. I picked up what I needed for Thanksgiving as well as some other things that we're running low on. I like to keep 6 to 8 months of gallon tea bags on hand. One box will last us about 2 months. And so I picked up 2 more of those. I love these big gallon tea bags. I also picked up 6 packages of tortillas. Those should get us to the end of the month, as well as 4 pounds of breakfast sausage and 1 tray of chicken for fajitas later this week. Sometimes I get in a rut with what I'm packing in my kids' lunches, and I'm definitely there at the moment. I really need to work on adding in more vegetables. They always take some fruit, and their lunches are pretty healthy, but I picked up some mini cucumbers for them to eat with ranch or hummus, as well as a head of fresh broccoli that I will cut up into little bite-sized pieces, avocados, and some cherry tomatoes. If you've been around here for very long, you know that we are a huge cheese family. So I restocked our cheddar as well as my daughter's favorite cheese stick snacks, which are these Colby and Monterey Jack. Annie Rose was also in need of some new socks, and 2 of my teenage girls were needing shower caps. We have been out of large trash bags in the laundry room for a couple of weeks now, so I finally picked up some of those. And I also got shredded hash browns to make hash brown casserole, which is one of our favorite sides for Thanksgiving. Over here on the left, you can see these 3 to-go containers. They are just tiny little, they may even be 4 or 6 ounce little containers that are perfect for putting grapes or little black olives or cherry tomatoes or even some dip in my little kids' lunches. So I picked up 3 more of those. I also got 2 large containers of sour cream and all the paper plates we need for Thanksgiving and dessert, as well as hors d'oeuvres the night before with family. I also picked up some underwear from my youngest son. Tiny little boxer briefs are the cutest thing in the world. I got some yellow onions as well as some frozen fruit, pineapple chunks. I didn't mean to get pineapple chunks. I thought those were mangoes. Behind the pineapple chunks, we have some mixed smoothie mix like pineapple, mango, strawberry, and I don't know what else. Apparently, I wasn't paying very close attention. And I picked up 2 packages of celery. Those were 98 cents a piece, which is fantastic. I don't even need any right now. I am going to slice those up and stick them in the freezer. I got craisins to add to my broccoli salad, a bunch of bananas, and 1 more box of our favorite microwave popcorn. I don't know if this interests any of you at all, but my husband and I spent some time in Ethiopia many years ago, and every single morning in the guest house, we were woken up by the smell of freshly roasting coffee beans. They would roast green coffee beans fresh every single morning, and the taste of the coffee in Ethiopia is beyond anything we've ever experienced in the US. We finally decided to try it out ourselves after watching many YouTube videos about how simple it is to roast coffee, and I was able to find the same beans on Amazon, of course. Now, you can find many different methods online, different tools and roasting things, but I typically lean toward the most simple, and that was to use our cast iron skillet over medium heat on our gas stove. I let the skillet preheat before I added the beans, and one of the keys to successful even roasting is to never let the beans sit still. We stir constantly. The process for us was about 30 minutes start to finish, maybe even a little less than that. So the beans go through 2 different pops or cracks in the process, and you'll hear that if you watch other YouTube videos on roasting your own coffee. It's really neat. It almost sounds like a mix between popcorn popping and like a fire crackling. I'll let you hear it. I read one time that home roasted coffee that is not roasted for very long, where it doesn't get super dark, actually has a higher caffeine content than a dark roast. I thought that was interesting. Of course, we much prefer the flavor of a good, rich, dark roast, but we don't like it burnt, of course. And there's you have to find a sweet spot there. It took a little trial and error for us. The very first time that I roasted coffee, I didn't roast it quite long enough, and the flavor was just lacking a little. But I will say this, a particular Yirgacheffe Ethiopian coffee has the smoothest, least acidic flavor that we have ever had. Again, you just keep moving your beans around continuously, scraping them off the bottom, making sure that none of them are sitting untouched. I just keep moving them around. I did end up switching to a silicone spatula about halfway through this so that I didn't melt this cheap old plastic one. The process of finishing your beans is actually much like manually harvesting wheat. You're going to separate the wheat from the chaff. Well, the coffee beans produce sort of a chaff at the end. I don't know if you can see in some of this video, especially down here to the right, there's this flaky residue that is collecting on the side of the skillet, as well as the edge of my stovetop. And when all of the beans have finished roasting, which is about what you're seeing right here, I turn the heat off and I continue to stir it for a few more minutes just to make sure that everything has gotten nice and darkly roasted, and I start to let the skillet cool down a bit before I transfer these coffee beans to a sturdy metal colander that I then take outside to the front porch, and I toss very, very carefully, gently toss them in the air with the colander. And the light breeze, which there always seems to be just enough of a light breeze on our porch because our property is kind of at the top of a hill, and it blows the chaff out of the coffee beans. It's really amazing. We then will typically place the freshly roasted coffee beans in a brown paper bag, and we will let them kind of off gas a bit for a few days before we start using them. So I did this on Saturday. Today is Tuesday, and my husband ground some last night to start some cold brew coffee in the fridge. If you've never roasted your own coffee at home, maybe you should add that to your list of things to do over Christmas break. Thanks for watching.